Good morning, everyone. Thank you
Morning.
so much for coming over. My name is Amit. I'm your host and moderator for today. I'll introduce myself and my company, guys. Amit Koshal is my name, and we work in a company called Enalito. I'm a co-founder of Enalito. Enalito focuses on e-commerce companies. We have a software product for e-commerce companies. We help e-commerce companies like yourself in many aspects, from email marketing to SMS marketing to predictive analysis to personalization to analytics, deep analytics and segmentations, product segmentation, customer segmentations, a lot of other problems we solve for e-commerce clients. The idea of doing this webinar is that we have a lot of e-commerce clients in India, US, and Europe, and I think it's time to give back to society. A lot of people during these times are struggling, suffering, and there are folks like yourself who are in a good position to mentor our peers, to mentor and to guide people who are in the e-commerce industry based upon your experience. So I would like to thank all of you for coming over for this session in the morning. Now I like to jump to Austin. Austin, tell us something about yourself, about your business, and what platform do you use?
Yeah, my name's Austin Groesser. I'm the founder owner of a company called Big Dipper Dough. We manufacture and sell both edible cookie dough as well as bakeable cookie dough. Sell our products in about 3,000 grocery stores. And yeah, I mean, like our businesses, like our website and stuff is based off Shopify.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Austin. Austin, how's the business for you in the last 5 months?
Things have been pretty good for us. Most of our business being in grocery, not so much online. Grocery sales have been up. Indulgent items like ice creams, like cookie doughs, things like that, sales have been up as well. So we'll say the amount of new accounts we've closed has gone down in regards to a lot of the companies, a lot of the retailers that have pushed off their planograms or their resets. Our business itself has been doing very well in the grocery space.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much, Austin. Um, let's hear from Vittorio. Vittorio, how are you doing? What do you do?
Yes, hi, my name is Vittorio. I'm the vice president of Urbani Truffles. It's an Italian-based company. We distribute in 68 different countries in the world, and our bigger subsidiary is in the United States. And I take care about United States, South America, and Canada. Our business, if the question is the same, overall is a little down because we do a lot of food service and distribution in general. But in that, we have branches of the business like retail and online that are up a lot. Most of all, the online is doing very well. The business related to retail is also doing very well. And for the online, we started recently to use Shopify. We were using Magento before, and it's like probably 5 months, 6 months that we are using Shopify.
So you moved from Magento to Shopify.
Yes, correct.
Okay, interesting. I'll come to you more on that later. Roger, how are you doing this morning? What's happening with you, and what do you focus on?
I'm doing very well. Good morning, everyone. My name is Roger Landrum, and I lead supply chain and operations for Spiceology. Spiceology is a premium spice and blend and rub provider internationally. Our business is doing very well. There was actually an article about us in Forbes several weeks ago. We did a pretty quick pivot, obviously got hurt initially by the food service sector within COVID, did a quick pivot on the consumer side and still managed to maintain a significant amount of growth. And our platform is Shopify.
Excellent. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you very much. Tony, tell us something about yourself and what business are you in?
Yeah, so hi guys, my name is Tony Lamb. I'm in the food business. I have restaurants as well as CPG products. The restaurants that I'm involved with is Wingstop. They serve chicken wings. There's about 1,400 chicken wing Wingstop restaurants across the country. I also have an ice cream product called Maven's Creamery. We are in about 300 stores. We sell these macaron ice cream sandwiches. We were on Shark Tank over a year ago, struck a deal with Barbara Corcoran, and now I'm working on my latest project, Vietnamese cold brew coffee. This is, we're the very first Vietnamese cold brew coffee company in the world. We just launched in March of this year, perfect timing, right? With COVID-19 and everything. Currently, we just recently in the last 5 months signed up 100 convenience stores to carry our product. I'm in about 50 restaurants today. And now we are pivoting to sell coffee with a subscription online. We use Shopify to do our D2C e-commerce. So that's me.
Excellent, excellent. That's great. So yeah, let me go to Austin again. Austin, why are you in the ice cream and cookie business? What's your why? Why are you doing what you're doing?
Well, to be frank, I started as a kid. I always wanted to start a business. Was never totally sure what I wanted to do, and basically I got the idea for edible cookie dough. I was training for my first marathon. Seemed like a good opportunity. People always need to eat. Seemed like it'd be a fun business to get into. And yeah, I mean, really just kind of started out, very small out of my mom's kitchen, and the business has just, grown over time as, we've gotten a lot of wind in the sails. And very much at this point, I've fallen in love with the industry, taking an idea from your brain to on the grocery store shelf to an idea that, to a product that people love and want to pick up. And yeah, so early on, it was more so just saw the opportunity. And then as we've continued to grow, really fallen in love with the industry.
Excellent, excellent. So where do you see your company in the next 5 years, Austin?
Yeah, I mean, so the hope is, to get somewhere probably between, 25 to 30,000 retailers in the next 5 years, to continue to grow both our in-store business, but really launch a couple additional products and grow much more online as well. Yeah, I mean, we, aiming to become a household brand, aiming to become a name brand, not just in cookie dough, but in other dessert items as well. We kind of have our brand hypothesis, say, of where we want to go, what kind of other products we want to launch, what we want to be long-term. And I'm starting to launch some additional products in the coming year to start expanding us past just the cookie dough set in the store.
Excellent, excellent. Vittorio, we have someone like Tony who is funded by Shark Tank's Barbara. And how's your business on funding? Are you guys funded? Are you guys bootstrapping? How's it going?
This is a privately held company, is a family. The name of the business, that is Urbani, is also the name of the family. The family owns the business 100%. Not only this, but they have other activity too. These activities too. This is the main one. And basically they finance the business. It's a very historical company. We are in business since 1852. So now is the 6th generation of the family that is running the business. I mean, now the 5th one is running the business. The 6th one is approaching. So technically they work in the way where they were able always to finance their business and to support the business. And even in this really kind of challenging situation, they were able to, and we were able, because now it's not only them, it's the team they have, including myself, that put together a strategy that for now is working, where we didn't even have to fire people. So in this kind of situation, so we were like happy to do that. And definitely we are working on be always the leaders, like we are with 70% of the truffle market in the world. So our goal is to stay where we are and keep growing and keep be flexible based on how the market is changing right now. And so it's a good way for us to learn also, and really was like a wake-up call where we say, okay, now we also have to change, adjust, and be flexible on what the market is looking for. And this is what we are doing.
Excellent, excellent. Roger, I think in one of our sessions, we were talking to Chip, uh, and he mentioned that you guys are catering to chefs and restaurants and also household, right? So some of the things I want to ask from you is that so you were one of the players who pivoted very fast from restaurants to consumers. Uh, how did that happen? I mean, you guys had to pivot very fast, and in these times, pivoting fast and in an agile manner is extremely important. How did you guys implement it in no time?
I think honestly, it was just a lot of good leadership on Chip's part, on Chef Pete's and Heather Schulten, and so I think it was just a lot of leadership, and then just plain necessity and need to move very nimbly into another market that was an opportunity for a product.
Excellent, excellent. Tony, what advice would you give to people who are who are looking to have funding?
Right now, so we went and raised money during the pandemic, and we were very successful. We actually, even though the stock market had dipped almost what 33%, we were still able to raise money. I think it's just finding investors. We did several ways. We reached out to friends and family, but we also reached out on LinkedIn for me, for example, seeking people who would be interested in investing in a cold brew company. And I think that LinkedIn is one of the most powerful platforms to network with people, as well as find investors from that platform as well. So that is one of my go-to places to find investors.
But if you're, let's say, if you're on LinkedIn, you are reaching out to somebody very cold. A lot of investors, a lot of people are there. But how do you make them interested in your idea? How do you make them intrigued that you are the one they should be investing in? And you met them cold on LinkedIn. So what are 2 ways, 3 ways you would suggest people who are trying to find investors on LinkedIn and they're walking to somebody cold?
Yeah, definitely I do have an advantage, because if you look on my LinkedIn profile, I do say Shark Tank winner. So just having that title right there, people are very intrigued about, like, oh, wow, let me see what this guy is up to, right? So I do have a little bit advantage. If you were just starting green, I think that it's going to be definitely a challenge to be able to do that. But for me, again, that was one of the things that I had access to. And then what I did with a lot of these cold calls was I just sent them samples. I mean, at the end of the day, it's, having them taste it to believe, like, is this product really special, right? And so I have to say, like, we spent so much money just sending samples to all the cold leads that we had, so that when they tasted it, they're like, wow, this is unbelievable product. So, if you truly believe in your product, I think that, you'll be able to get 1 or 2 of these investors to take you on seriously. The other thing that I do is, on LinkedIn, I follow some of my competitors, right? And I follow who's commenting on some of my key competitors, and I reach out to these individuals, on a cold call. Now, I have experience with a lot of emails. We played a lot of A/B testing to see what type of response we would be able to get if we sent out a specific sales or investor email. And so with that experience, I've been able to, obviously get some meetings set up. And then based on that, it's just all a matter of how you best pitch the product to win that investment.
Excellent, excellent. That's a great piece of advice. Austin, you are nodding your head and you seem to be learning a few lessons from Tony. How's your business? You funded or you bootstrapped?
That's about the first 2.5 years I had bootstrapped the company. But then since I had raised some funds from some outside angels, and we've actually just gone through the same thing basically Tony's talking about with raising funds as well during COVID. So it's we thankfully were able to raise funds, and yeah, I've gotten a lot of repetitions of using say both LinkedIn and Crunchbase to find angels or to find VCs that invest into the CPG space. Prospect them, reach out. Obviously, it's just like the regular sales process for anything else. Yeah, have a lot of experience with that as well because I just spent a considerable amount of time doing the exact same thing.
Excellent. Austin, so what are your investors saying? Are they saying, go get more customer, burn more cash, get more customers, burn more cash, get more customers? Or are they also looking at profitability? So how do you balance profitability versus acquiring more customers at the cost of burning cash?
Yeah, I mean, that was, in the first, this business is very cash intensive up front, especially when you focus heavily on grocery. There's a lot of free fills, slotting fees, things like that take a while to recoup those expenses. So definitely, the first couple of years, say, was definitely more focused on growth and top line revenue. We've become profitable much sooner than a lot of companies in our space, which we're, very grateful for. That's kind of been the primary focus now is really, jacking up our margins and, getting the good margins through either, of course, increasing costs, but for the most part, just as we continue to grow, getting better cost of goods, getting along with better manufacturers, more efficiencies in manufacturing to drive our cost of goods down to achieve profitability sooner. So now, if and when we decide to go raise funds again, we can, raise a much higher multiple as we are both a profitable company. And if we don't decide to, we can at this point, ideally in the near future, go back in for bank financing or whatever else. But obviously, long term, you want to be profitable. You're not in business to lose money. And yeah, that's definitely the main focus long term is to continue to grow. We say probably taking a slightly slower approach to it than other companies, as we're again focused on being profitable and sustaining profitability. But we definitely feel that's probably the best play long term, because whether we decide to sell or not, ultimately again we're in business to make money. So
excellent. Vittorio, you are listening very patiently, and all the other panelists, including, I know as a matter of fact, the Spiceology is also funded, Austin is funded, Tony is funded. You are working in a family-owned business. So how do you differentiate? So you have a long legacy of 6 generations. 6th one is just coming in, 5 or 6 generations. So how do you differentiate yourself from your competition? What's your USP, so to say?
Can you repeat the last part of the question, because I think I missed that?
I'm saying, how do you differentiate yourself from your competitors? What's your unique selling point? Why should people come to you and not go to a competitor?
But definitely, the history, the long tradition is helping us, because having a long history, you learn from your mistakes and you learn from what we have done well. So technically have more like opportunities to dig into your past really is helping you. But also that should be a learning process, and a process that is helping to develop. But most of all, I believe that what is triggering like a bigger way to grow is being a very up-to-date company, investing in technology and investing in distribution, so you can be efficient, not only in terms of efficiency in production, but innovative when you produce. That is definitely, I believe, the key versus our competitors, because even if we try to learn from the history, but we try to be up to date and not become obsolete, because maybe that could be one of the risks, when sometimes you can find a comfort zone and you say, oh yeah, I'm in business, so from a long time what I'm doing is good. No, you have always to challenge yourself and to make sure that you can always lose your leadership if you are a leader. And to do that, you have to be, as I said, up to date, don't become obsolete, and always be you know, following the trend, or maybe some time to drive the trend. So that is what we do, you know, the technology, the way we produce, the way we present product to the consumers are innovative, or we try to be innovative at the point where, you know, our history helps us only to understand eventually mistakes, but it's not really sticks there, and we looks like a very young and eclectic company.
Sure, great. Roger, this thing, COVID hit us. I mean, we all were caught unawares. What was, so were you guys reacting or responding to COVID? Did you guys react or did you guys respond? And if you made a mistake in the last 5 months, what was the mistake and what did you learn from it?
In regard to reacting versus responding, I think that we already knew that we had a great product. It was very innovative, premium for chefs. We knew that consumers, there was a market with consumers as well. So I definitely think that we responded to that particular opportunity within the marketplace. And then I think in regard to mistakes, I think we're just building for growth, and inevitably you're going to trip and you get up and you learn and you move from there. So nothing in specific, but there's always opportunities to learn from.
Yep, excellent. Tony, it's a dream for a lot of people to first of all get shortlisted by Shark Tank, and then win is of course a dream which comes true for not so many people. What advice would you give to people who want to prepare for Shark Tank and who want to go there and win? What would be your advice?
Yeah, you got to know your numbers, guys. That's the key thing is know your numbers, know your valuation, have a go-to market strategy, right, on how you plan on growing your business. The other thing for us was we prepared by watching every single episode 3 times. So writing down all the questions, possible questions that in previous shows they've asked contestants, and be prepared to be able to come up with an answer that is music to their ears.
Excellent. So when is a good time to go to them? So were you trying to also get funding before Shark Tank?
Yes, we were looking to get funding before Shark Tank. When it became a reality, you have to make the decision like, oh shoot, do you ask for, because in our instances, we had some potential investors already before even Shark Tank, but then we kind of held off and said, this might be a really good opportunity for the exposure that we would get if we get on the show. So we ended up declining the investors' money so that we could participate in Shark Tank. Yeah, that's what we decided to do.
Excellent. Let me do a poll question at this moment. Let me launch a poll here. All right, I'm launching a poll. I would like all of you to answer it. So as I hope you can see the question on your screens. Do you know which customers you're losing? All of us are on e-commerce sites, and a lot of people coming and shopping from us. Some people might not come back ever again. So do you know which customers might not come back ever again? That's the first question. And if you can answer this question, guys, are you able to see the question on your screen? Are you able to answer it?
I'm able to see it, but I don't see how I can vote for it.
Okay. Others can vote for it? Nobody can vote for it.
But I don't know, because you usually say answer yes or no. So how can you answer yes or no to a question, to an open question?
Yeah, so you can either say yes or no.
But I cannot even pull anything. I can just see what's going on, and I see that.
Yeah, I don't think there's a place to select either option.
Okay.
I mean, there is saying on, you know, now no is 80% and is red, yes is 20% at least on my screen, and is blue, but looks like more like the question is, are you losing customer, yes or no? Probably somebody is answering that question.
Okay, okay. All right. So the question is that whether you're losing customers, all of us, all the people in the e-commerce industry lose customers. We don't know where they go. They come and they never come back. They come on a shop and then they never come back. So people don't know which customers they are losing, and that's why we have the Enalito app. The Enalito app can be installed onto a Shopify store, and it can very specifically tell you that these are 10 customers, these are 10% customer, 5% customers who are never going to come back to your store, because we're doing a lot of analysis of your customers. Once the plugin is installed onto your e-commerce site, a lot of analysis is being done on your customers as well as on your products, and we're able to tell you which customers you're about to lose, and then we can also suggest you what actions to take to stop those customers from getting lost. That was the intent of giving information that how can you stop your customers you're about to lose. All right. So let me ask my next question to Austin again. So Austin, you started young. What's your educational background, and how is it linked to e-commerce? Is it linked to what you're doing right now?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't like go to college or nothing. I just, you know, I got out of high school. I was a firefighter for a bit, and then started the company while I was a firefighter. But you just have learned through, you know, trial and error. You know, pretty much, I mean, like probably like 99% of our business, well, we have a Shopify. Probably like 99% of our business isn't online. You know, our products are so expensive to ship. We've tried multiple times to sell it online. It's just so expensive. We don't get much in the way of sales, and our cost of acquisitions is way too high. That's what I meant. New products that would be much more better suited for e-com and for online sales, which will be launched next couple months. But yeah, I mean, for now, you know, pretty much all of our business is offline, is wholesale.
Mhm. So, and you plan to pivot to online soon?
Yeah, but what's this so much pivot as, you know, expand more into online with some additional product launches.
Mhm. Excellent. So, Victoria, you moved from Magento to Shopify. I've seen a lot of people moving from Shopify to Magento. Uh, why would you move from Magento to Shopify?
But we analyzed a little bit and a lot, and we saw that for where we are, Magento didn't have the flexibility that Shopify has. I think is an easier platform, probably is fitting better. And I'm not saying that Magento is no good. I'm not saying that at all. But just I believe right now Shopify is fitting our needs better. Our product is an impulse sales, okay? And plus we sell online a lot of product that is perishable. You know, I don't know if I mentioned, we work with Truffles, and Truffles is very perishable and is very expensive. So technically the customers are looking to be attracted by, you know, the website and make a decision on how much, or if they want to not spend that amount of money. And I believe that this platform right now is giving us the opportunity to communicate quicker and to change things quicker when things are happening in the market, or maybe for sourcing our products. So I believe that right now, probably the Magento looks like is more like a railroad track, more like straight, doesn't really give you much of opportunity of change or be flexible. So we thought that we need more flexibility, and then Shopify is giving us this opportunity.
Interesting. So, Tony, can you tell us some of your favorite apps on Shopify? Which apps do you love on Shopify, and why? How do they help you?
Um, Gosh, to be honest with you, we just started maybe a couple months ago. But if you ask me what the ones we're looking or use, I think the biggest one right now that we've seen success with is customer acquisition, which is the spin a wheel. Okay, so meaning, you know, when the customer goes to your website, there's a spin a wheel where you could win 10% off, 20% off, free shipping, right? In order for you to spin the wheel, you have to enter your email address in there. And so I tell you, like within a month, we've already have like 600-700 emails. Even though we have some abandoned carts, we have already captured those emails address so that we can go and retarget those folks again. So that's one. The other one we are using today is a store locator tool. So if people say, you know, hey, you're too expensive, I don't want to pay the shipping, because our shipping right now, you know, is about $9. They can go to the store locator tool, put their address in there, and it will show the closest store nearby to them so that they could pick it up locally as opposed to ordering it online. That's the second tool. Third tool that we're using is called Reversion. And basically that is a subscription tool. And our product is coffee. So the average coffee drinker drinks 2 cups of coffee a day. So our hopes is that our customers are subscribing to our product, and that way this tool will manage that subscription process, meaning it will automatically charge them and send a invoice order so that my fulfillment center can process that order every single month. And then one tool that we're looking to right now is called Referral Candy. That tool is a referral tool that basically allows you to leverage your social media influencers and be able to give every single person a unique code so that they can advertise to people in their network. So the social media influencers that we typically work with have a minimum of anywhere from 20,000 up to 1 million, right? And so we want to be able to find which one is bringing us the most leads, and by being able to identify those social media influencers, we're able to compensate them and say, hey, you're doing a good job. You know, here's a couple more cases, or here's a gift card for bringing all those leads to us. So yeah, those are the tools we're using.
Great. Excellent, Tony. Excellent. That's also some great piece of advice from Tony. Roger, where are you spending your marketing budget? Do you spend the budget on ads or social media, Google ads, or SEO? How do you do a segregation of marketing budget?
You know, I'm in supply chain, so I probably wouldn't be the best person to ask, but I think it's a combination in regard to marketing.
Okay. Austin, what's your take on the marketing budget? From where do you buy your customers?
Yeah, and again, most of our business is offline as well. So we have, you know, some apps and stuff we use with Shopify, and we've you know, done some Facebook ads and things. We just never gotten a good return on them. So you know, most of our marketing budget, most of our promotional dollars goes back into trade spend in the grocery stores. So that's, you know, $1 off on the shelf. It's a buy one get one. It's, you know, 2 for $10. Whatever it might be, you know, get most of our marketing dollars going back into trade spend and promotional dollars at the grocery store.
Okay. Vittorio, how about yourself?
I mean, if we talk about our part, the online business of our company, definitely we in ads and social media, we are investing a lot, because also we kind of able to quantify what is happening and what is coming back. In addition, recently we launched a loyalty program for customers. So technically referrals and different kind of programs, or anyway give like points back to the customer, both for referring other customers or eventually for the quantity they buy, and not only even how often they buy. So technically, if we are talking about only the online business, because the offline then has a different dynamics, overall. So here we are talking about online, and the online, definitely the ads, definitely the social media, the ads on the social media, but plus we are trying to be part of this kind of program. We started this loyalty program like probably a month and a half ago. We are implementing now, we are like modifying, but we see that is already giving us a good results in terms of products, numbers of item bought, numbers of amount of spends. So that is, I think, is also a good way to track what's going on.
Thank you so much, Victoria. Roger, from the supply chain perspective, what would you advise people who are getting into e-commerce?
Well, I think it's a great question. I think within the fulfillment area, there's a lot of new technologies that are out there that will help increase productivity in regard to picking. There's pick to light, pick to voice. There's actually some augmented reality type systems that are available. And then there's more semi-automation. There's gravity-fed racking. There's obviously conveyors. There's box erectors. And so there's a lot of different technologies out there that will help you multiply your ability to fulfill, because it's really critical. You can have a great operations type area, but you've got to be able to keep up with them as well. So I think that is that's really key.
So before Spiceology, where were you working?
I was at Lighthouse Foods over their supply chain, and prior to that at ConAgra Foods, and I'm also retired military as well.
Excellent. Excellent. So Tony, you have been talking about how instead of social media using you, how you have been using social media to your benefit. Now, are you also a big fan of social media ads, Google ads, Facebook ads, or do you focus on content writing and SEO? Where do you buy your customers from?
Yeah, we have a lot of marketing tactics. One of them definitely is social media in Facebook ads. So today we have a content team that basically does video, does photos for us. So we're spending on social media with that asset. We're looking at doing partnerships with social media influencers, right? So that's another area that we've been able to successfully promote our product. Most of these social media influencers are happy with product. So you give them a couple of cases and, they go and they, put it on their IG story or Facebook story or their Facebook post, and we're able to generate from that. I'm looking at one today with gamers, right? Now imagine 180 million gamers out there. I'm working with a company where when the gamers are completing a mission, they get a reward, right? And that reward, when they click on that chest, is free Omni coffee, right? And so what we do is for those gamers, we give them a free Omni coffee sampler pack as long as they pay for the shipping, okay? But we're able to reach such a huge community. And then you look at what the LTV is, because my product is $4 for a bottle. I'm hoping that you drink this every single day. So, 4 times 30 is, 120 times 12 months. We're looking at each person being a LTV of $1,400. And I gave them basically, for me to ship something like this out, a 3-pack would be about, $6, $7, right? So if I get 1,000 users, then that's going to be part of my marketing budget. I'm going to pay $6,000 to $7,000 to acquire, hopefully, these 1,000 customers, and then be able to convert them to be a lifetime customer.
Excellent, excellent. Those are some great pieces of advice from Tony. Austin, what's your take on Tony's advice? How much of it are you implementing?
I'm sorry, how much, what are we implementing?
How much of these advice would you want to implement?
Yeah. So again, the biggest challenge we have right now is just our current method of fulfillment, or current method of distribution. But yeah, I have a friend that has a pretty successful Shopify page, and the same that spin the wheel that Tony recommended. My friend recommends that very heavily as well. That they found tremendous success with that, both as like an upsell as well as a capture the customer's information. So yeah, so we're very excited to start launching some of these new products so we can really start to focus on e-com. Because the grocery business is really fun. It's a great business to be in. And e-com is so much faster in regards to being able to see your results come back very quickly, run Facebook ads to generate sales almost immediately. So yeah, we're very excited for that, and excited to implement some of these new applications and things such as that, like the spin the wheel app.
Excellent. Let me launch my next question for all of you to answer. Hopefully, you guys will be able to answer now. Let me just. Right. All right. Okay. Do you know how much revenue you lost due to cart abandonments? Do you know how much revenue you lost due to cart abandonments? Okay. All right. So a lot of people in the industry are losing a lot of money because of cart abandonments. The customers come and go, they put something in the cart, and they never come back. Just close the window. Enalito also tells you how you can, how much money you're losing due to cart abandonments, and how to get those customers back on your site and make them shop again. Right. So now I want to ask you guys, do you guys have any question that you want to ask to the other panelists? Roger want to ask Tony. Tony want to ask Austin. Austin I want to ask Vittorio. Do you want to have any question that you want to ask other panelists before I shoot more questions to you?
I think
I don't have any. Thank you.
Yeah.
I do not either.
Okay, excellent. Then let me ask you more questions, because our viewers are very intrigued based upon the inputs that you guys are giving. So let me ask Vittorio. So where have you been working before, Vittorio?
I mean, like, it's a long time that I'm worked with these companies, about 20 years. Then I have a couple of companies that I'm running my company overseas and here, and I try to integrate and with my experience also to those companies. But I spend a lot of my business life with this company.
Excellent. So Roger, what advice would you give to people who are starting new businesses? Like overall, for example, you can give. So basically, Tony said that you have to be great with the numbers. Then Austin just jumped from his high school to being firefighter to starting his own business in the edible cookie dough. Now, what advice would you give to entrepreneurs who are jumping into e-commerce and are looking for some great advice from you?
I just really think on the supply chain side, which is the area that I have knowledge in, that your numbers continuously change. Your what you need to produce operationally when your marketing and your sales side are very successful, as they have been at Spiceology, and then fulfillment as well. You need to know the automation that you need. You need to know how many X times you need to build in order to keep up with demand. You've asked questions about lost revenue due to cart abandonments and what have you, and all that counts, right? So you've got to build out a supply chain that will keep up with all of that, and that's dynamic. It changes constantly. You have to keep on top of it.
Excellent, excellent. Uh, Victoria, from a long experience, what advice would you give to people who are starting new businesses in the e-commerce space in F&B specifically?
But definitely, to pay attention of Roger department, because that's logistic is very, very important on the online business, because first of all, in the United States, shipment are not only by weight but by size. So you have to be very, very careful, because at the end of the day, if you don't pay attention to the logistic aspect, definitely you think that you have a good gross profit, but then your net profit will be eaten from all the logistic cost that sometimes is. I'm not saying that it's difficult to estimate, but it's not so easy, the packaging to package single unit instead of ship things by cases, the size, the dimension and everything. That is definitely on the online something that they have to pay attention, because all the other things, the packaging, the presentation, definitely everybody's working a different way, and that is more like on the surface, and it's easier to understand and to see. Sometimes what you miss is what is below the surface, right? That you don't see directly, but sometimes you forget to pay attention on, and those are the things that can really eat your profit. So the logistic is definitely one of them, to pay a lot of attention on how they arrange the logistic and how they build the logistic side of the online business.
Excellent, excellent. Uh, Austin, so what are your values? What define Austin? To explain this question to you a bit later, for example, let's say our values in Enalito are that we are go-getters, we are positive thinkers, we wanna add value to our customers. We are obsessive about adding value to our clients and customers. We wanna make our clients our fans. So what are your values? What are the values that you and your company follow?
Yeah, and so I'm very grateful in this regard, because one of my mentors in business is very staunch and core values, right? Where your systems and processes how you scale your actual business, but your core values are how you scale your people, right? It's how you hire and fire, promote and demote. You both say give raises and encouragement, but also to discipline your employees, all based off your core values. So we have a very strong sense of core values, and some very strong core values in our business, right? What those are, we have 6 core values. So number 1 is to be simple. Of course, be simple. Humans love to overcomplicate things. 2 is to lead well, learn better. So both being a better leader as well as learning from your mistakes. 3rd is to is excellence, and I'm getting out of order. Be simple, be proud, be hard, be humble, lead well, learn better, take action, excellence in all things, and to be honest and transparent. Right. And so those 6 core values, really kind of, cover our business as a whole, from, be proud, be hard, be humble, being proud of the work that you do, doing a good job, being hard, like continue to make sales calls after sales calls. And of course, being humble, because, ego always gets in the way. Lead well, learn better, about being a good leader, about learning from your mistakes, taking action, about no procrastination, about when a task is assigned, something's to get done, getting out there right in the trenches and getting it done right away. Excellence in all things is, of course, doing the best job that you can. And then, being honest and transparent. A lot of people like to talk around issues and not just be blunt. I communicate best, very bluntly. And, we've really integrated that into the business well. So yeah, those are our 6 core values.
Excellent. You clearly have your head on the shoulder, Austin. So I'm sure you have a lot of people in your company who are much elder to you in age or experience. How do you convince them that you are right, and perhaps they need to go back to the board and understand what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have a pretty young team. I think I have one. Of course, our investors are older than me. But only one of our employees, I believe, is two of our employees are older than me. But yeah, I mean, the biggest thing about, being the company is about certainty, right? The more certain person will always influence a less certain person. So, I'm certain of the business, I'm certain of our goals, I'm certain of what we want to accomplish, of how we're going to get there. I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, it's just, about being, both certain and confident in regards to what we're doing and, the mission to get there and how we're going to achieve those goals. But second to that as well is, when we hire in the business, all of our interview questions are based around our core values. So, really the two things we're looking for is, their competency, whatever the skill set is, whether that be sales or ops, marketing, whatever it might be. And second to that is, of course, that they're congruent to their core values. And we kind of rank, when we interview for a job, we kind of rank those separately, right? We rank, if there's 10 people, 1 through 10, who seems to be the most competent, least competent in the job. And then second list 1 through 10 of who is, say, the most least congruent with their core values. And ideally, it's the same number one person for both. But for the most part, we'll always pick the person that's more congruent with their core values. Either they're slightly less, say, competent in the job and has slightly less experience. Because if they are truly congruent with their core values, we know we can teach them better. We know that they'll be able to learn and that they will fit in much better and ultimately succeed much greater in the organization.
Excellent, excellent. Are you by any chance doing the KBB course or by Tony Robbins and Dean Grazios?
I am not, no.
No, okay. This is exactly what they say. I was doing that course, and this is exactly what they say, that you hire people based upon their values, and you give them capability if they get the capability and they just fly. So hire people based upon values or not based upon capability. And if you have the people with values around you, you're going to fly, your company going to fly. That's excellent mentoring that you are getting or you already have in you, imbibed in you. Great to know, Austin. Tony, what are your core values? What is your success key? What are your success keys that you want to share with people?
I think that surrounding yourself by mentors. I have a lot of mentors that I go to for advice when I don't know the answer, and surround yourself by positive energy, right? There's a lot of negativity right now in the world and everything. So I surround myself by positive people, mentors, having an open mind when you're talking to folks, right? Yes, I know that, my product is the bomb, it's the best thing out there, but you have to have an open mind, right? And think outside the box and listen to some of the advice some of these veterans have been successful at, and see if, you need to pivot based on that feedback. So yeah, just having an open mind and surrounding yourself with people. And then the other thing too, I think, is when you're building your company, you want to be able to find people that excel. So for example, I'm good at sales, but I'm not necessarily great at accounting. So rather, I could do accounting, but it would take me 5-6 times longer if we hired a person who really knows that than me. So, sometimes people, when they go into business, they think that they can do everything by themselves. I've done that before too, and I burnt out. So finding these key roles, your CEO, your CFO, your CMO, and your COO, and everybody staying within their lane, right? And so I don't go over, for example, my CFO and say, what are you doing with those numbers right there? I trust that person, that what they're doing is right, and people don't question my sales tactic or my marketing tactic. I just go and do it and just get it done. So I have a go-to, how do I say it? A never give up attitude, do whatever it takes. And that's kind of like the foundation of our company, is do whatever it takes to get it done.
Excellent, excellent. So Tony is saying that you should work on your strengths and not your weaknesses, and he's saying he's actually following Henry Ford. Henry Ford said that the smartest people in the room hire people who are smarter than them. And then when you hire smart people, trust them, because if you hire smart people, because they can do work without your guidance, it's very important to trust people. If they're not doing their job, you should fire them. But if you've hired them and you trust them, you should let them do their work. Thank you. That was my last question. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you very much. It was a fabulous session. We could end in time. One of the best things that's in this panel is that you guys, such givers, you guys were able to communicate very freely, very honestly. You were not shying away from telling your secrets, or your mantras, or your success stories, or your learnings with the people out there. We're going to be posting this video on different channels. We'll tag you there. We're going to also pull out small portions of this video and post on different channels, 5 minutes video, 4-minute video from this episode. And hopefully people will be able to learn from us, learn from you guys, and grow their business and have a fulfilled life. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you very much, and have a fantastic day ahead. Thank you so much. Thanks.
Nice meeting all of you. Bye-bye. Take care.
Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.